My beloved child, I am asking you to completely stop whatever you are doing right now. Take a deep, grounding breath and listen to my voice with the absolute center of your spirit. I need you to quiet the chaotic noise of the world around you, silence the endless stream of anxieties running through your mind, and open your heart to a transmission that has been specifically and intentionally orchestrated just for you. What I am about to tell you is not an ordinary message. It is not a casual passing thought, nor is it a generalized word meant for the masses. This is a profound, highly specific, and deeply sacred revelation that has been heavily stirred in the highest courts of heaven, tailored exclusively for your heart, your unique life path, and your ultimate destiny. God says, someone in your life is entirely, undeniably ready for marriage. Someone has already made up their mind about you in the quietness of their own soul. They have been privately praying, deeply thinking, vividly dreaming, and fiercely hoping about a future with you, carrying a level of seriousness and devotion that you do not even fully comprehend yet. But before any physical movement happens, before any earthly reality manifests, before any promise becomes a binding, lifetime commitment, I, your Creator, urgently need to talk to you. I need your undivided attention. I need your weary spirit to listen closely, and I need your guarded heart to pause, because what is rapidly approaching your life is not small. What is coming is incredibly sacred, and I absolutely refuse to let you step into anything of this magnitude without the full, unshakable protection, divine wisdom, clear guidance, and overflowing blessing that I have specifically reserved for you. For so many years, you have walked through incredibly heavy, exhausting battles in absolute silence, and I want you to know that I have watched every single second of your struggle. I have seen you carry the crushing weight of your past, the agonizing sting of your deepest disappointments, the paralyzing grip of your fears, and the fragile, beautiful fragments of your unfulfilled dreams. I have been intimately present for every single moment when you forced yourself to pretend to be unbelievably strong, even when your heart was violently trembling and your spirit felt like it was breaking into a million pieces. You have endured brutally long, cold seasons where you fell to your knees and prayed through tears for someone who would just be genuinely loyal. You begged heaven for someone true, someone who would not just tolerate your presence, but someone who would take the time to truly understand the complex, beautiful depths of your soul. You have spent countless sleepless nights staring into the darkness, crying out and asking me why love has always had to be so incredibly complicated, so emotionally draining, so profoundly confusing, and so unfairly unpredictable for you. You have been harshly betrayed by those you trusted the most. You have been deeply misunderstood by people who refused to see your light. You have been taken for granted, conveniently used for your endless goodness, and callously overlooked in moments when you so desperately deserved to be cherished, celebrated, and protected. Yet, despite all of that agonizing heartbreak, despite the fact that the world has given you every single reason to turn cold and bitter, you still choose to love. Your gentle heart still daringly hopes against all odds. Your resilient soul still firmly believes that something pure, something real, and something unconditionally beautiful actually exists for you. God says, it is exactly because of that unyielding heart, because of that rare, untainted purity, and because of the remarkably beautiful spirit you carry, that I have been actively preparing something magnificent for you in absolute secret. And now, the season of waiting is abruptly coming to an end. Someone is entirely ready for marriage. They are ready for the exact kind of deep, unwavering commitment that most people only ever get to dream about or read in stories. This is not a fleeting infatuation or a temporary emotional high. There is a specific person whose heart has been strongly, undeniably nudged by the Holy Spirit toward you. They have suddenly and profoundly realized that you are absolutely nothing like anyone they have ever encountered in their entire life. They feel a magnetic, spiritual pull toward your soul that they cannot even begin to explain with human logic or rational thought. When this person looks at you, they do not just see another individual, they see a permanent home. They see unshakable peace, a vibrant future, emotional stability, and a profound sense of divine purpose. They can feel something massive shifting deep inside their own chest, and they know with absolute certainty that they can no longer ignore it or run away from it. They are ready for a lifetime with you. They are ready to step out of their comfort zone, step forward, and claim the beautiful destiny that involves your hand in theirs. But God says, you must absolutely not rush into this. I am placing a divine pause on your spirit right now because everything concerning this connection must happen strictly under my perfect timing, my covering, and my specific instructions. You must deeply understand that earthly love, when pursued without my divine blessing, quickly turns into overwhelming stress, anxiety, and eventual heartbreak. But love that is carefully built under my direct guidance transforms into an unstoppable, unbreakable destiny. I desperately need to talk to you in this private, quiet moment because I know there are deep, unhealed wounds lingering in the shadows of your soul. You have become so incredibly skilled at hiding these emotional scars, so good at masking your pain from the outside world, that sometimes you even forget they exist, until someone gets too close and accidentally touches them, sending a shockwave of fear through your system. I want to talk to you because I know the critical difference between your temporary, fleeting emotions and my permanent, divine direction. I need to talk to you because I sit from a vantage point in heaven where I see things that your physical eyes could never possibly see. I hear the hidden conversations you were never meant to hear. I know the secret intentions, the buried motives, the invisible spiritual forces at play, and the exact precision of divine timing. I absolutely refuse to let you walk blindly into a commitment of this magnitude when I have the power to guide you with crystal clear, undeniable clarity. You have spent far too much of your life watching people pretend. You have seen people wear one comforting face in front of you, only to reveal a completely different, toxic face the moment you turned your back. You have watched people who boldly promised you forever mysteriously disappear the very moment things became slightly difficult. You have loved people who loudly claimed to care for you, yet they violently struggled to offer you even the most basic level of human respect. All of those painful, chaotic experiences have carefully constructed a quiet, paralyzing fear deep inside your spirit. It is a terrifying fear of making the wrong choice again. It is a suffocating fear of being abandoned, a fear of settling for less than you deserve, and the terrifying fear of pouring your entire soul into loving someone who may not actually know how to love you back. You carry this heavy burden silently, refusing to burden others with your internal struggles. But I am stepping into your circumstances today to tell you that before you give your heart away, before you utter a single word of acceptance, and before you finally say yes to the person who is currently ready for marriage, I must actively heal that specific, terrified part of your heart. I absolutely refuse to let you answer them out of a desperate fear of being alone, or from a deep, aching loneliness, or from the suffocating pressure of society, or from a chaotic state of internal confusion. I want your ultimate yes to be birthed from a place of unshakable peace, profound confidence, absolute clarity, and an undeniable spiritual certainty that can only come from my throne. Someone in your life is genuinely, deeply ready for marriage, but I am firmly asking you to sit quietly with me in this exact moment because I want to gently reveal to you the absolute, unfiltered truth of this specific person's heart. I want to carefully peel back the layers and show you what you cannot possibly see in the natural realm. I want to definitively show you whether this person is a magnificent, heaven-sent blessing, or simply a beautifully disguised, temporary distraction sent by the enemy to derail your purpose. You must remember that not every single person who strongly desires you is actually someone who is sent by me, your God. And not every single person who constantly dreams of you or speaks beautiful words over you is spiritually qualified to walk beside you in the monumental calling I have placed upon your life. But I am telling you today that this person, this specific individual who is heavily on your mind and spirit, carries a profound, rare sincerity deep within their core. They have a remarkable seriousness in their intentions toward you that is not easily found in this generation. They look at you and they do not just see a fleeting moment of happiness. They see a permanent foundation. They see someone they desperately want to meticulously build a life with, someone they want to exponentially grow with, someone they want to fiercely protect, intensely love, and proudly stand beside through every single storm this world has to offer. But listen to me very carefully. Even the most beautiful sincerity urgently needs divine confirmation. I am explicitly instructing you today to take your time, but purposefully take it with my guidance. I want you to wait, but actively wait in my presence. I want you to aggressively seek answers, but seek those answers directly from me, the author of your love story. Because this specific connection that is forming in your life is not small. It is not a casual, temporary encounter. This profound connection carries massive, undeniable spiritual weight to it. And whenever something carries this level of spiritual weight, the entirety of heaven gets actively involved in the intricate details. You may have already started noticing the subtle, undeniable signs. You may have felt something heavy and profound shifting deep inside your own chest over the last few weeks. You may have found yourself thinking far more deeply about your long-term future, your ultimate emotional stability, your physical home, and the legacy of your family line. You may have suddenly been hit by massive, unexpected emotional waves or a deep, lingering inner restlessness that you simply cannot put into words. You may have been having incredibly vivid, prophetic dreams that leave you waking up with a racing heart. You may have heard your own spirit gently but persistently whispering something to you that you have been too afraid or too distracted to pay full attention to. My precious child, absolutely none of this is random. Coincidence simply does not exist in my kingdom. I am telling you today that I have been meticulously, intentionally preparing your heart behind the scenes, because the breathtaking next chapter of your life absolutely requires a deeply healed, perfectly aligned, and fully spiritually awakened version of you. I need you to completely understand that this massive marriage conversation is not just about randomly choosing a life partner to share a house with. It is about actively, permanently choosing your ultimate destiny. It is about intentionally aligning your life with the magnificent, overarching divine plan that I have written for you since before the foundations of the earth were laid. It is about finally stepping into a beautiful, unending season of ultimate security after surviving years and years of agonizing instability. It is about stepping into a glorious season of unbreakable trust after enduring brutal seasons of heart-wrenching betrayal. It is about confidently stepping into a love that perfectly aligns with the high standards of heaven, and not just settling for fleeting earthly emotions. But before any of this glorious reality manifests, I need to talk to you privately, intimately, and directly. I need to gently whisper the unadulterated truth into your spirit. I need to specifically guide you through those vivid dreams, through those undeniable signs, and through the sudden, striking moments of clarity that are going to hit you. I desperately need you to start listening to the still, small voice residing deep inside of you. The very voice that you so often ignore when the chaotic noise of your daily life gets too loud. I need you to fiercely trust me, exactly the way you once implicitly trusted me when you were much younger, back when your heart was completely untouched by the harsh disappointments of this broken world. I will be walking directly beside you through every single step of this monumental process. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are completely, perfectly safe. Absolutely nothing bad is coming your way. You are deeply protected by my hand, and you are continuously surrounded by an elite guard of warring angels who are aggressively defending your destiny. I am holding your fragile heart securely in my hands, and I will absolutely never let you fall or be shattered again. But I am asking you to walk slowly, to move intentionally, and to think spiritually. Because the massive choice you are about to make will permanently become the foundation of your future lineage. If you can feel my deep, comforting presence wrapping warmly around your spirit right now, if your heart is powerfully resonating with this prophetic, life-altering truth, and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am speaking directly to your situation, I gently and lovingly invite you to subscribe to this channel and become a permanent, cherished part of this divinely appointed family. By joining this incredible community today, you are taking a bold, prophetic step of faith, actively declaring to the spiritual realm that you are finally ready to receive the daily, nourishing bread of my word. You are intentionally opening your weary spirit to a continuous, unbreakable stream of divine guidance, supernatural protection, and miraculous, overflowing testimonies. Do not attempt to walk through this incredibly heavy, pivotal season of transition alone. Stay intimately connected to this specific source of spiritual nourishment, and let us diligently build an unshakable, magnificent fortress of faith together. Every single time you return to hear my voice, another heavy chain of the enemy is violently broken, and another massive, generation-changing blessing is permanently unlocked in your life. This person, this specific one who is entirely ready for marriage, has been thinking incredibly deeply about the trajectory of their own life. They look at the days and they feel a hollow, aching emptiness without you in the picture. They feel strongly, aggressively guided toward you in profound ways that they simply do not know how to articulate or logically explain to anyone else. They have sat in silence and vividly imagined a beautiful, permanent future with you by their side. They have perfectly pictured a warm, inviting home, a loving family, and a deeply rooted, unshakable commitment. But you must remember that they are human. They are not perfect. They have their own hidden weaknesses, their own deep-seated fears, and their own history of painful mistakes. And I want to personally show you exactly how to navigate this intense connection from a place of elevated divine wisdom, instead of just reacting from a place of raw, unpredictable emotion. You absolutely do not have to be afraid of this process. You do not have to exhaust yourself by constantly overthinking every single detail. You do not have to panic and rush into a decision, but you also absolutely do not have to build a wall and push away the beautiful blessing that is divinely meant for you. And you certainly do not have to accept something that leaves you feeling unsure or anxious. You simply have to firmly hold my hand and walk intimately with me through this entire season, because I am absolutely not sending you a spirit of confusion. I am sending you crystal clear, undeniable clarity, I am not sending you a spirit of fear. I am sending you a profound, overwhelming peace that surpasses all human understanding. I am not sending you another devastating heartbreak. I am sending you total, complete, and permanent healing. I am not sending you a random coincidence. I am sending you perfect, divine timing. The beautiful, loyal love that you have prayed for in tears is not far away anymore. The absolute clarity you so desperately need to make this decision is not far away. The undeniable, heavenly confirmation you have been actively seeking is not far away. But before you confidently step into a massive, lifelong commitment that fundamentally changes the entire course of your life, I need to thoroughly prepare your spirit so that your final yes becomes an unshakable, glorious foundation, rather than a heavy, regrettable burden. Trust me, pray to me daily. Let me intimately talk to you in this critical season because someone is ready. But I urgently need you to be fully ready too. Not just emotionally excited, but deeply spiritually grounded, mentally prepared, and perfectly divinely aligned for the magnitude of what is coming. My precious child, hear my voice echoing in your spirit. Absolutely nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are fiercely protected. You are gently held in my arms. You are meticulously guided by my spirit. And I am continuously whispering to you right now to listen very closely, because the next breathtaking chapter of your life is incredibly sacred. As you prepare to witness the undeniable evidence of my hand moving in your life, I need you to profoundly understand that this person's heart is trembling with a kind of readiness they have absolutely never felt before in their entire existence. And even though they may not have spoken these monumental words out loud to you just yet, heaven has already heard the silent, desperate prayer forming deep inside their spirit. Someone is truly, unconditionally ready for marriage. This is not the kind of fleeting readiness that comes from external pressure, societal expectations, or a sudden fear of growing old alone. This is the rare, beautiful kind of readiness that organically rises from the very depths of the soul, from years of quiet longing, and from the breathtaking realization that love only truly becomes complete when it is intimately shared with the exact right person. And even though this specific readiness is incredibly genuine and pure, I still desperately need to talk to you first because something monumental is shifting in the spiritual atmosphere around your destiny, and your fragile heart must be perfectly prepared for the massive blessing that has already begun to rapidly move toward you. There are specific, pivotal moments in your life when everything looks incredibly quiet and stagnant on the surface, yet absolutely everything is violently changing and rearranging underneath. This is exactly one of those monumental moments. I clearly see the heavy, unspoken weight you are carrying inside your chest right now. I see the lingering confusion, the midnight terrors, the endless unanswered questions, and the frustrating moments where you feel like you are standing right on the precipice of something unimaginably beautiful, but you simply cannot see the path clearly enough to take the first step. I want you to know with absolute certainty that absolutely nothing happening in your life right now is by accident. The painful delays, the strange and unexplainable signs, the sudden, vivid dreams that wake you up in the middle of the night, the intense magnetic pull towards someone, and the equally strong, sudden urge to pull away from someone else. None of these things are random. The forces of heaven have been aggressively rearranging your earthly path so that you do not accidentally fall into any toxic connection that would permanently damage your beautiful spirit or dim your God-given light. I am telling you today that you possess a remarkably rare soul. You have a soul that loves so incredibly deeply, so fiercely loyally, and so breathtakingly purely, that it absolutely baffles the minds of those who operate in darkness. And that is exactly why heaven has been violently guarding your fragile heart so incredibly carefully over these last few years. You see, someone's readiness for marriage is not the only thing that matters in my kingdom. Your perfect alignment with my precise divine timing is infinitely more important than their sudden readiness. Because the wrong moment, the wrong mindset, or the wrong emotional state can completely destroy the right blessing. The specific person who is currently deeply thinking about a lifelong marriage with you is feeling a remarkably strong, undeniable conviction bubbling up inside their spirit. They absolutely did not feel like this before. They may have previously run away from serious commitment, heavily doubted their own capabilities, cynically doubted the existence of true love, or deeply questioned whether they were even worthy of building a stable, peaceful life with someone of your caliber. But in the last few weeks, something massive has shifted within them. A profound, undeniable realization has gently touched their guarded heart. I have intentionally allowed them to finally see you differently, to clearly see the incredible depth of your immense worth, the staggering sincerity of your beautiful soul, the unmatched purity of your intentions, and the unyielding strength of your magnificent character. They have been quietly sitting alone, intensely remembering small, seemingly insignificant things about you. They remember your quiet kindness, your endless patience, your breathtaking resilience, your powerful silence in chaotic moments when others would have loudly shouted, and your unwavering love in dark moments when everyone else would have selfishly walked away. These lingering memories are absolutely not coincidences. They are my gentle, persistent reminders to this specific person that true love is not actually meant to be endlessly complicated, constantly painful, or deeply confusing. Real love is meant to bring profound, unshakable peace. But I need to talk to you today because there is something you must completely understand before this massive blessing moves any further forward. You have prayed for a real, loyal love for a very, very long time. But deep inside the hidden corridors of your heart, there is still a small, trembling fear. It is a terrifying fear that someone will once again misuse your precious love, completely misunderstand your intentions, or ruthlessly take advantage of your gentle softness. I urgently want to permanently remove this paralyzing fear from your spirit right now, because a massive, generational marriage blessing simply cannot enter a fearful, heavily guarded heart. You have seen people casually betray your deep trust, effortlessly break their solemn promises, or cowardly leave your life without a single word of explanation. These deep wounds have undeniably made you incredibly strong. Yes, but they have also tragically created massive, invisible concrete walls inside your weary soul. Sometimes you desperately want love, and other times you are absolutely terrified of it. Sometimes you boldly declare that you are completely ready, and other times you feel like your shattered heart is still bleeding and healing. I see absolutely all of this, and I am telling you today that you must allow my Holy Spirit to completely cleanse your heart of every single ounce of leftover pain, because the breathtaking blessing currently rushing toward you requires a deeply peaceful, completely open, and fully trusting spirit. Someone around you has been watching you far more closely than you even realize. Let me be very clear. This is not someone who is here to hurt you. This is not someone hiding toxic, malicious intentions behind a fake smile. This is someone who has been actively, deeply trying to understand whether they are truly, emotionally, and spiritually ready to give you the exact kind of magnificent love you so richly deserve. They have been heavily reflecting on their own past mistakes, the careless ways they have hurt others, the brutal ways others have hurt them, and the incredibly beautiful, peaceful kind of life they would meticulously build if they finally chose you. They have been constantly comparing every single other connection in their life to the overwhelming, peaceful feeling they get when they just think about you. This person absolutely does not want any more temporary, meaningless connections. They do not want chaotic instability. They do not want dark secrets. They do not want endless confusion. They desperately want a permanent home, a loving family, and a deeply peaceful, incredibly meaningful love. And they clearly see you as the one person who could be absolutely all of that and more. But before this person physically steps forward to claim you, there is a critical divine instruction you must hear and obey. You absolutely cannot enter this glorious new season still carrying the heavy, toxic voice of doubt from your painful past. You cannot enter this magnificent blessing secretly believing that you must somehow earn their love by constantly suffering, completely sacrificing your own needs, or desperately begging for their basic attention. You cannot enter this blessing secretly thinking that you are too much to handle or not enough to keep. You cannot enter this blessing only half believing in your own immense worth. I am boldly declaring to you today that you are entirely worthy of a full, completely healthy, fiercely loyal, and deeply committed love. And I want you to finally, truly believe that with every single fiber of your being. The one who is undeniably ready for marriage is being actively prepared by the forces of heaven as we speak. But heaven must simultaneously prepare you too. This person is currently going through a massive, undeniable spiritual transformation. Their spirit has been violently waking up from a long, dark slumber. Their conscience has been heavily stirring. They are suddenly realizing that time is incredibly precious, that real, authentic love is exceedingly rare, and that losing you would undoubtedly be one of the absolute biggest, most devastating regrets of their entire life. They may have been deeply confused before, but that heavy confusion is rapidly leaving them right now. They may have been emotionally distant before, but they are being aggressively pulled much closer to you now. They may have been terrified of commitment before, but a fierce, undeniable courage is rapidly rising in their hearts right this very second. I have been constantly whispering to them in their dreams, in the quiet moments of the day, in completely unexpected signs, in sudden, overwhelming waves of emotion. And they are finally beginning to truly understand that there is something incredibly divine about you. Something their soul instantly recognizes even when their logical mind desperately tries to deny it. But I also need to warn you. Just because someone is completely ready for marriage does not mean you must panic and rush the process. The final decision must organically come from a place of deep, unshakable peace, not from a place of suffocating pressure or fear of losing them. When a love is truly, divinely real, you absolutely do not lose it by moving slowly and intentionally. When a love is specifically meant for you by heaven, it simply does not mysteriously disappear. What is yours cannot be taken by anyone. So breathe deeply, trust my process, and allow me to perfectly guide the exact timing, because the magnificent blessing coming toward you is incredibly delicate and sacred. I am also revealing to you that someone around you may actively try to negatively influence your decisions in this season. You must understand that not everyone around you genuinely wants to see you blissfully happy. Some people may completely fake their concern, but their unsolicited advice actually comes from a dark place of deep insecurity or bitter jealousy. They may try to plant toxic seeds of doubt in your mind. They may wildly exaggerate old rumors. They may deliberately bring up your painful past or the other person's past specifically in order to disturb your newfound peace. I am commanding you to keep your heart incredibly quiet and your decisions strictly private during this transition. Not everyone deserves to know what is miraculously happening in your spirit right now. I am working powerfully behind the scenes, and I absolutely do not want outside, toxic voices to forcefully interfere with what I am meticulously preparing for you. The person who is ready for marriage is about to take a massive, undeniable step that will completely surprise you. They may reach out incredibly suddenly, speak far more honestly and vulnerably than they ever have before, or deeply express powerful emotions that they once kept completely hidden behind a wall of pride. They may boldly reveal something profound about their life that will finally help you perfectly understand exactly why they acted the way they did in the past. They may tell you something they have been absolutely terrified to admit out loud. They may show you a raw, unfiltered side of themselves that you have never, ever seen before. Do not fear this sudden vulnerability. This is something you must pay incredibly close attention to, because it is a direct part of the divine alignment that has already miraculously begun. Your tears and prayers have been working powerfully. You may not even realize how incredibly powerful your spoken words are, but the entirety of heaven has been aggressively moving every single time you fell to your knees and asked for clarity, protection, peace, or divine direction. You specifically prayed for someone who truly, deeply values you, and heaven is directly responding right now. You prayed to be fiercely protected from another devastating heartbreak, and heaven successfully blocked several toxic connections that would have absolutely destroyed your life. You passionately prayed for someone who is fiercely loyal, emotionally stable, and completely spiritually aligned with your destiny. And heaven has been actively, meticulously shaping someone's heart to become the exact person you have been patiently waiting for. Do not confuse temporary, fleeting emotions with undeniable divine confirmation. The person who is truly ready for marriage will absolutely not make you feel constantly anxious, desperately unsure, or unloved. They will not ever make you question your immense worth. They will not give you frustrating mixed signals. They will not mysteriously disappear the moment things get slightly serious. They will confidently come toward you with absolute sincerity, and the grounded energy will bring profound calmness to your spirit, not chaotic anxiety. Begin actively preparing yourself internally today. Completely release the paralyzing fear of being hurt again. Let go of the painful past memories that still deliberately disturb your peace. Trust that you are completely, divinely protected. Open your beautiful soul to fully receive the magnificent, breathtaking love you once tragically thought you would never, ever have. You do not have to chase anyone. You do not have to nervously solve anything. I am only asking you to completely, unconditionally trust me. A massive, life-altering shift is going to happen when you least expect it. A profound message is coming. A breathtaking confession is coming. A monumental decision is going to be made. A beautiful, undeniable truth will be revealed. And that exact, miraculous moment will finally show you exactly why I needed you to patiently wait, exactly why I needed you to fiercely grow, exactly why I needed you to deeply heal, and exactly why I urgently needed to talk to you today. You are completely safe. Absolutely nothing will go wrong with you. This massive, generational blessing is fiercely protected by the angels of heaven. Trust me, pray to me, allow yourself to fully, unconditionally receive the breathtaking love that is rapidly approaching you. Heaven is aggressively working on your behalf. Your beautiful heart is being perfectly guided, and something unimaginably beautiful is coming your way right now. If you believe this word, And if you are completely ready to receive this divine marriage blessing, type Amen